Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a short video where I just want to get something off my chest when it comes to Modern Warfare 3 because it's something that's been bothering me since the launch of the game, and it's only getting worse as we get further on into the game's life cycle. You would think that these issues would be resolved now that the launch is out of the way, now that people have got the game from Black Friday and Christmas and things like that. You would think the game would have a healthy population and thus matchmaking would work a little bit better, but unfortunately that has not always been the case, and it's starting to happen more and more, especially in certain game modes, and it's frustrating. So I just want to talk about it here. So lately I've been playing a bit more Search and Destroy. Once I got my Interstellar camo, I wanted to go back to my favorite game mode, which of course is Search. I do post a lot of respawn here on the channel because I feel like it works better for the videos that I make. Like I can just go clip to clip, and if I'm showing news or articles or covering things like that, then it's a bit easier as compared to like a full-length game of Search and Destroy. I just feel like it's easier to like splice in clips and stuff like that because I definitely jump around a lot in my videos. But I do love to play Search, going all the way back to Call of Duty 4, World at War. Like I grew up on Search. It's my favorite game mode. But one of the things I've noticed about it playing here in Modern Warfare 3, and apparently it's been something that's been happening a lot in recent years, but it seems like it's definitely ramped up this year, the sheer amount of people that quit games and then the matchmaking doesn't put anybody else back in there, and it just makes the match just feel terrible. Like if the other team gets butthurt, they leave, game's over pretty much. Or people on your team quit, well, game's over. Nobody's ever going to backfill. What ended up happening the other night was I had my best match of Search and Destroy so far here with the Modern Warfare 3. It's nothing marksman level or nothing, but here's the score. I went 17 kills, 3 deaths with 3 plants. Like it was a pretty good match. Like I was really enjoying it, but unfortunately it wasn't recorded because my computer is like dying right now, and I have all these random encoding errors whenever I try to record. It's a real crapshoot as to whether or not my matches get recorded. It's pretty damn frustrating. But right after that, we got into another game, and people didn't leave nearly as much. Of course, I had a good match, so skill-based matchmaking had to kick in, give us terrible teammates, and it was a 5v5 the entire match, but we got blown out, man. I mean, in fairness, they were all using MCWs because that's the only gun anyone ever really knows how to use in Search and Destroy. But yeah, we got blown out. Very next game, skill-based matchmaking, of course, is going to be skill-based matchmaking. Then the very next game, we go up against another party. Mind you, it's just me and my buddy James playing here. Our teammates end up leaving, even though we were up like 3-0, 3-1 at one point in the game. Our teammates left for one reason or another, and we never got any more. So we're then left in a situation where eventually it just becomes a 2-on-6 with like 4 rounds to go, and we never get a teammate until the very end of the match. Like once the match was over, then they're like, hey, let's just throw one more teammate in here because why not? I mean, I don't understand why the matchmaking, especially in Search and Destroy, just doesn't work half the time. Like if you are like 4 rounds into a game, right? Let's say the game is 2-2. The score limit is 6, obviously. The game is 2-2. Therefore, potentially, you still have 7 rounds to go. If it's 2-2 and people leave on your team or on the other team, they're never going to get backfilled. The game's like, nah, people don't want to join games late. I don't know. And then everyone in the lobby is kind of left to suffer. The match is then boring. You don't want to play it anymore. You want to back out yourself. And it defeats the entire purpose of the entire system. We find ourselves in a situation where not only in Search and Destroy, this happens all the time. I'm sure you guys have seen it in game modes like Domination, Hardpoint, whatever. We find ourselves in a situation where if people leave on your team, you're just undermanned the rest of the game. And at that point, it's like, well, why even try to win if we're down, 4v6, 3v6 or whatever? Or on the flip side of things, if you're winning and people on the other team end up leaving, and now you're playing a 6-on-3, a 6-on-4, 6-on-2, it's just like, what's even the point? This is boring. We should probably back out. And we're in this spot where skill-based matchmaking is making more people than ever want to back out of their games. If they get into a lobby and they're not having fun, people are sweaty on the other team, or they're trying to do challenges but it's not working out, or they don't like the map, or they accidentally went to the wrong game mode or whatever, people just back out now. I mean, people don't care about stats. They don't care about their win-loss ratios anymore because all of that is completely hidden. There's no longer a public combat record like we had back in the day. So Activision, Sledgehammer, like all the studios, right, they're working on skill-based matchmaking. They're making it as thick as possible here with Modern Warfare 3, which is causing people to want to back out. But then once those people end up backing out due to the stupid skill-based matchmaking nonsense, the game doesn't give you any more teammates in your game. It just ruins the entire thing. Like if people are backing out, that's something they have to address, right? They're backing out because of skill-based matchmaking or whatever the reason may be. Well, then that's on the matchmaking to actually put more people into the game, but instead they just don't ever do that, and you find yourself just playing a game where it's 6v4, 6v5, 4v4. I mean, have you ever played a game of Domination, right? You're playing 6v6, it's on a decently sized map, let's call it Afghan or whatever, and now it's suddenly 4v4 and nobody's joining the lobby despite the fact that the game makes hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. How does that even work? I don't get it. So that's been happening a lot lately, and I truly do think it comes down to skill-based matchmaking. I truly think it comes down to just the inherent problem of skill-based matchmaking itself, which is just even more fuel for the fire that the entire system needs to go. And mind you, here we are almost at the end of December. Back at the very beginning of December when Season 1 came out, Activision said they were going to be talking to us about skill-based matchmaking. They said they were going to be going into more detail and explaining why these things work and why they do it and how the system has evolved over time. Well, here we see the system being ramped up to infinity. Matchmaking is not putting anybody in the lobby if somebody ends up backing out, and it's been almost a month since they said they were going to talk to us about skill-based matchmaking, but it's been radio silence the entire time. What is happening right now, man? What is happening? Like, I feel like this video is all over the place, but I've been playing more COD over the course of the past couple of days, and it happens every other game, it seems like. It's so rampant right now, and it's due to the system, man. It's due to skill-based matchmaking. Like, people back out because of skill-based matchmaking, and then skill-based matchmaking doesn't want to put people in the lobby because maybe they already determined, well, that team is supposed to win over here. If this team over here loses teammates, well, who cares? We're not going to put anyone in because they're supposed to lose anyway. Like, it just all feels so rigged. You know what I mean? It feels so manipulative, and it just hasn't been a good feeling over the course of the past couple of days, and I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing, and I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback as well as your stories down there in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.